Hi, I'm having a great day. You're watching JG Entertainment, and in this video, I'm going to be supporting the Make the Amazing Spider-Man 3 movement, which I definitely agree with. I definitely think that making the Amazing Spider-Man 3 should happen, and I would definitely watch the Amazing Spider-Man 3. So I'm going to be supporting that movement, and to support it in this video, I'm going to be covering some possible storylines or some plot or some possible things that they did in the comics that they could do in the movie, as well as some possible villains that they would definitely fit in this movie. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely think I have some really good ideas for this movie, so I hope you enjoyed, and tell me if you support the movement down below in the comments, and as well as make sure to leave a like so the video can do very well. And yeah, also subscribe for a lot of content. I'm making a lot more content. I'm covering some news over Andrew Garfield from Insider Information, so if you don't want to miss that, definitely subscribe. I'm gonna be covering that hopefully tomorrow, so subscribe to check out that video and a lot more content. So yeah, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so where would this movie technically take place? Well, I definitely think this movie should take place after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, as I think it would be definitely very fun to play with the fact that this Peter talks to different Peter Parkers and to different Spider-Mans. So I think this movie should definitely take place after Spider-Man No Way Home, and obviously that way we can also see the consequences of what happened, what Gwen's death affected him and how he took decisions. Obviously, we got a little bit of a peek in that whenever he started talking to Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home, and he started saying how he stopped pulling his punches and he started killing criminals because they stopped pulling punches. So I definitely think that this concept is very much supposed to be explored in this week, because I think for the most part, I think the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 were really into Peter Parker and his emotions and his feelings and his love story with Gwen. So I definitely think that in this movie, they should not stop, and I definitely think that they should continue for sure. So I definitely think that they should keep exploring how her that affected him. While at the same time, he's trying to push a lot more forward now because he got motivation from different Peter Parkers and different Spider-Mans. But I think that maybe because of the things that he did this past year, basically coming to hunt them, even though he's trying to move forward now. So I think that this is how the movie should take, what the movie's general synopsis should be. For example, because he started murdering people, I think instead of being viewed as a hero as he was in Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think he should start getting viewed again as a vigilante or even a criminal, where the cops are not trying to put him down. Just like in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I feel like that would be great to just really bring down Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man emotionally, because he already beat that when he was the hero, cops trusted him, and now they're after him again. And I think that would be very well. At the same time, it's going to be very haunting because the dad of Gwen Stacy obviously was a cop, and he said that he should keep her away because she was going to die, and that happened. So I think that this storyline of the cops haunting him again is definitely very much worth it, and especially since he's been killing criminals, I think that he would fit the thing as a criminal himself, or as at least a vigilante. So yeah, definitely think that cops should keep hunting him again in the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Okay, so now let's move on to some possible storylines and some possible villains that they could use for the movie. That was just a general synopsis that I think that they should do, along with an idea of the cops chasing him. But now let's actually move on to villains and what they could do with these villains. So I think that Kraven would actually be a very well done fit with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and that's the first villain I'm gonna do. And why Kraven? Well, I think Kraven is really smart, and he's focused on traps and everything. And Andrew Garfield is, I think, in my opinion, the smartest Spider-Man. He's really scientific and everything. So I think that with the brain of Andrew Garfield versus the brain of Kraven, that's a very interesting thing. At the same time, I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man acts more like a spider. He has a lot more of the spider type of things, and Kraven obviously is a hunter. So I definitely think that it's a perfect match, you know what I mean? Also, Kraven the Hunter movie already got announced, so it would just make sense that after that movie, he would probably move on to Andrew Garfield's universe and really, or at least into his territory to try to hunt him down, especially since the cops are trying to hunt him down because he's killed so many criminals. But the cops haven't had any success, and because they haven't had any success, maybe they hired Kraven the Hunter to hunt Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, because he has to be taken under the law out of how many criminals he's killed. So I think this will be a very cool storyline, very cool plot. And I think, like I said, it's a perfect match between Kraven and then Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and I think it would just make for a really interesting movie. Obviously, like I said, we already have Kraven the Hunter in development with Aaron Taylor Johnson as the actor, so he's already casted. They're already making a movie about him. Might as well bring him to the Andrew Garfield universe and use him for his movie. That I think that would definitely be very great. Okay, moving on to my second idea, and this one's the one that fans are really wanting and they're really pushing for, and that is Venom. And Venom, I can definitely see that. I mean, Venom, I think, fits the universe of Andrew Garfield very well. I think he's intimidating. I mean, at least personally, I always thought that, whenever the first Venom movie came out, I thought that movie was set in the Andrew Garfield universe, because I thought the world where he lived in fit very well with Andrew Garfield's universe. Then I found out it wasn't. I was like, oh, dang it, I really want to see them fight. And now I think this is a possibility. I mean, all the fans want it. They really feel like a perfect match, and it got teased at No Way Home whenever Andrew Garfield was like, I want to fight an alien. So why not well do it? You know what I mean? And I also think story wise, it would have fit very, very well. Why? Well, he could really start playing to the negative emotions that Andrew Garfield is going through after Gwen's death. So he's trying to go back up, but the cops are chasing him. The whole world is against him now, and maybe Venom makes him more aggressive because he gets on him. And I think that whole story, that whole plot would fit very, very well. So I think this is a great idea. Honestly, I think it's a great, great idea, and I would love to see this on the big screen. I mean, that would just be huge. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man against Venom, that would be awesome. So yeah, sign me up for that. And I think, like I said, if it's turned out terribly, and it's just amazing for the fans to see Venom and Spider-Man once again fight in the big screen after Spider-Man 3. So yeah, sign me up for that. Okay, moving on to the next villain that I think they could use, and I honestly think that this villain would fit very, very well in the storyline, especially with Venom. I think they could put these two villains together, and that's Black Cat, because she was already teased in Amazing Spider-Man 2 as the assistant of Harry. She was actually saying her, if you didn't know that, it's her. And I think that they could really use her now. I think the actor has said that she would love to return to this universe and explore the character a lot deeper and really get into like the comic book Black Cat. And I think Black Cat, she's supposed to be like this dark love interest to Peter Parker that kind of takes him a little bit more through a darker path, because Peter Parker at the same time is a little bit more into towards the negative emotions and everything. So it makes for this really good match. And now I think that this is definitely a possibility, especially since Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is not being open to love more, since Tobey Maguire really gave him that advice to be like, hey, you can look for somebody else. We always have time. You should keep trying. He told him his story with MJ in No Way Home. So I think that because of that, maybe Andrew Garfield's like, okay, I'm a little bit more open. I can try. And with that, Black Cat comes in, and I think they could really work. And like I said, she really is a little more towards the negative side. She brings out, she really does love him, like as we know in the comics. But at the same time, she's more negative. She loves crime and everything. And I think Andrew Garfield, if he gets the Venom suit, I think maybe this could be a very well storyline where he's going through a darker path as well. So they make for the perfect couple, at least for that movie. So I think that would be a pretty good storyline, to be honest. I don't know if it would. I don't know if it should happen, because in my video, actually in this video, if you want to check it out, what Spider-Man 4 for Tom Holland, I actually think that that's going to be something along the lines of what they're probably going to do, because his Tom Holland's in a darker path as well. So they could do that, or they could not, because like I said, they might do it with Tom Holland, especially since now the Venom goo is now or the symbiote is now in his universe as well. So they might not do it just because they might do that with Tom Holland, but I definitely think this is a really cool idea, and I don't care which Spider-Man they do it with, I hope they do it justice. And like I said, Black Cat, I just mentioned her because she's already in the cards for the Amazing Spider-Man universe, and I really don't want her to go to waste. I think that there's a lot of potential there, especially with her being Harry Osborn's assistant. So yeah, a lot of potential there. I hope they play into that. Okay, my next villain that I think that they could do, and this is probably my favorite idea. I doubt they're gonna do it, but this is my favorite idea, and this is Mysterio. And why Mysterio? I mean, why Mysterio? We already had Mysterio in Far From Home very recently. Why would I choose Mysterio? Well, for starters, he can really make illusions of Gwen dying and really torture Andrew psychologically. So this would be more of a psychological movie than like a very action-heavy movie. I think it would be a lot more psychological, playing into Gwen's death, and then really torturing him to maybe show the bad things that he's done. You know what I mean? Because I really want to see Andrew Garfield's descent to madness, like right after Gwen's death, when was the first time that he killed again and everything. So I want to see the descent, while at the same time seeing that uphill. And the best way to do it, and probably the most creative way, is by Mysterio illusions, because he could have flashbacks throughout the movie, like him slowly going to the dark side, while at the same time, present time, he's going back up. You know what I mean? But wouldn't it be better if we had Mysterio really torture Andrew Garfield psychologically and really show him like actions that he's done? Like maybe he does an illusion where he shows like a memory of Andrew Garfield whenever he killed a villain or something, or whenever he saw Gwen die and everything. And I think all that would be very, very well, and I think that would be so cool, because it would be kind of like this more psychological thriller type of thing. And at the same time, I think with Mark Webb's directing, he has a very eye-catching way to direct. As we saw with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they look extraordinary. I think they're the best looking Spider-Man movies, especially Amazing Spider-Man 2 with the Electro fight and everything. That looked awesome, even though the movie wasn't that great. I still enjoyed it, but I know some people don't. But it was the most visually well done movie for Spider-Man. And I think with Mark Webb's directing and cinematography, I think that Mysterio illusions could be really, really well done aesthetically. Like they could be very visually done well, and I think that Mysterio would fit, like I said, very well with the psychological kind of dark side that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is going through right now. And I would really love to see that because, like I said, I want to see his descent to madness while he's finding the uphill to go back up. And the only way to keep going to descent is through either flashbacks or Mysterio illusions. And I think that's just a really cool idea to do. And I think Mysterio could be a really, really well done villain for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And at the same time, bringing back to that flashback idea, I definitely think that we need the flashbacks if we're not gonna have Mysterio, because I think we need to see Andrew Garfield how he was pre No Way Home, whenever he was really not the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. As he said that he kind of stopped being the neighborhood Spider-Man, we really want to see whenever he wasn't the neighborhood Spider-Man. I think that maybe bringing back Harry Osborn and maybe like he breaks out or something and he kills him, I think that's necessary, because I think this Spider-Man is allowed to take a lot more risk, because obviously at the same time we're going to have Tom Holland Spider-Man, which is probably like a safer route. I think this Spider-Man should take the risk that the other Spider-Man wouldn't dare to take, and I think killing criminals is going to be a risk for sure, but I think that it could fit the story very, very well. I think if he kills Harry Osborn, I mean, that wasn't the original cut for Amazing Spider-Man 2. He was supposed to carry Harry Osborn. They cut that off, obviously, because I think it was going to be very controversial. But I kind of wish it didn't. I think that would have been so awesome to see. I think it would have like really fit the emotions. I mean, if you just see your loved one die by your best friend, you're going to be super, super mad, you know what I mean? So I think that at least we got to see a scene wherever he kills Harry Osborn, showing him like truly not pull his punches, showing him just truly go mad after Gwen's death. I think we at least got to see that. So if it can be done through a Mysterio illusion because it's not going to be in the movie, then at least do it through a flashback. I think that's very, very necessary. Okay, and moving on to the last villain that I think they might be able to use for this movie is Morbius. Morbius wouldn't really fit the story that well, in my opinion. But I think he would fit the tone very well. I think the Morbius tone, from what I've seen from the trailers, would fit the tone of the Amazing Spider-Man movies very well. They kind of have like this more darker, grounded tone, and I think that's how Morbius kind of feels. Same thing for the Venom movies; they kind of feel with that same tone. So I think all those three movies combined could really fit the tone. Like those characters combined could fit the tone. So I think Morbius could definitely show up here. Jared Leto has already been teasing that he's going to go against Spider-Man at some point, playing Morbius, if the movie does well, obviously. So I definitely think that Morbius is going to show up against the Spider-Man. And I think it could fit Andrew Garfield because of the tone, like I said. And I think Mark Webb's directing, once again, his visual aesthetic thing that he has, his cinematography, if you might say, really would fit with like Morbius as a vampire going against Andrew Garfield. I think that would be a very cool idea. This is the least fair one out of the ones that I put in this list, but I think it would still be pretty cool to see. And obviously it's already been teased and everything, and I think Morbius could really prove to be a great character whenever his movie comes out. And like I said, the stories just feel like they're really well done for each other. So yeah, that's my other villain that I think they might do for the Amazing Spider-Man 3. But yeah, those are the storylines I think they might do. Like I said, they definitely got to explore that grief that he went through, the not pulling his punches and truly like beating the crap out of criminals to even killing them, especially with Harry Osborn. I think that something's got to happen with Harry Osborn. And also, it would be pretty cool if we saw the Rhino fight. Just saying, I always want to see the Rhino fight, so please show us the Rhino fight. That would be awesome. He doesn't have to come up ever again, but I just want to see the Rhino fight, please. And then my 5 possible villains that they might do, which for a reminder were Kraven, Venom, Black Cat, Mysterio being my favorite, and Morbius. So yeah, those are the possible villains that I think they might do, and I think would fit the story very, very well, along with what stories they might do with each one of those villains. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please leave a like. It would be very helpful. So please leave a like, as well as comment down below if you like these ideas. Do you like the ideas? Do you have any other villain ideas that you think they might do, or any other possible storylines that you think they might explore with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man? I heard something with Spider-Gwen already, and I think that would definitely happen, but I don't know if it would happen in this movie. I'm actually going to be covering this news in tomorrow's video for Spider-Man, so subscribe for that. Like I said, it's an insider information, but Spider-Gwen, it's going to happen, just saying. But tell me if you like these ideas. Do you like the ideas of my villains? Do you like the storylines that I made up for them? Do you like seeing flashbacks of Spider-Man lose control and kind of start like beating the crap out of villains and killing them and type of stuff? I'm definitely curious to tell me that down in the comments. And also tell me if you do support this movie, make the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Do you want to see this? I make this Amazing Spider-Man 3. And if you do, what would you like the most? Like, which one of my ideas did you like the most? Versus Venom, I'm sure it's going to be very popular and everything. But tell me that down in the comments. I'm just definitely very curious. And let's subscribe for a lot of other content. Like I said, I have a video coming out tomorrow with insider information about this, so subscribe for that. I have a lot of other videos in Spider-Man Home that you might check out. You can check out my spoiler review right here if you want to check it out. I definitely think you'll enjoy that. And a lot of other videos that you can check out. So yeah, subscribe for all that content and just check out more videos in my channel. I definitely think you'll enjoy. And yeah, that'll be it. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is James Entertainment out.